Shalom, welcome to Out of Africa Torah Session. My name is Tatra Cohen, and this week we are on Parashat Chayei, Sarah's life, or according to the literal translation, the lives of Sarah. It is coming from the book of Genesis, chapter 23, all the way to chapter 25. We see in this Torah portion, Sarah dies at the age of 127. She probably lived quite long, I think, according to the standards of our days today. We also see Abram searches for a place to bury her, and in his search he settles for the place called the Machpelah, which then belonged to the sons of Het. Abram also later on searches for a wife for his son Isaac. Abram then sends later his most trustworthy servant to go and find this wife for his son Isaac. The servant meets Rivka at the well, where she provides water for him and his camels. This seems, according to the text, to impress the servant. Abram later on happened to marry Keturah and has 6 more sons. He then also dies at the age of 175. A very interesting summary of this Torah portion, Chayei Sarah, the life of Sarah. Allow me today to focus mainly on the part where Avram sends his servant to go and acquire this bride, Rivka, for his son Isaac. I usually like to read briefly, and today I'll read from Genesis 24 from verse 50 to 58, which says in a complete Jewish Bible, Lavan and Bethuel replied, "Since this comes from Adonai, we can't say anything to you, either bad or good." This was really nice, you just come, you arrive in a strange village and you say A, B, C, D. They believe you. They say, wow, this is from God. We will not comment. You go ahead with your business. This seemed to be like something nice which was about to happen. It continues from 51, says, Rivka is here in front of you. Take her and go. Let her be your master's son's wife, as Adonai has said. When Avram's servant heard what they said, he prostrated himself on the ground to Adonai. This is really nice. You just say this and people believe you. There's no quarrel. There's no dispute. You go ahead with your plan. Amazing. This was nice, wasn't it? What a catch. You arrive just now, boom, you have success all of a sudden. But guess what? Hold on, Mr. Servant. Satan does not work like that. Things don't just happen like that, as if Satan is not around. Allow me to read few more verses on which follows just right on the same portion I am reading. Verse 53 now says, Then the servant brought out silver and gold jewel together with clothing and gave them to Rivka. He also gave vulnerable gifts to her brother and mother. He and his men then ate and drank and stayed the night. This is now beginning to be a problem. And at the last part of 54 says, In the morning they got up, and he said, Send me off to my master. It's like he was beginning to notice something wasn't right here. So he says, Send me to my master. Allow me to go. Allow me to leave right away. Verse 55 says, Her brother and mother said, Let the girl stay with us a few days, at least 10. After that she will go. He answered them and said, Don't delay me, since Adonai has made my trip successful, but let me go back to my master. Then they said to him, We will call the girl and see what she says. 58. They called Rivka and asked her, Will you go with this man? And she replied, I will go. Now, look at how they ask, will you go, to this man, with this man? Like, will you go with this man? Like this stranger. That's exactly how Laban meant. In other words, Rivka was being compelled to say no. Like there was every reason. The brother and the mother had already declined. And the way they ask her, it's not like a polite way. They say, will you go with this man so that you have a chance to say no, like with this stranger? Like, honestly, Rivka, would you go with this stranger? This is a clear picture of what we see in the world today. When Laban saw the gifts, his mind was diverted from the core business at hand. Like what he was supposed to do. At first, he was following God. He says, do what the Lord has said. Here's the girl, you can go with her. But later on, he changes his mind and he says, no, you are not going. We need to call the girl. In fact, she's going to stay 10 more days, at least 10 more days, meaning it can be more than that. But since you are insisting, we'll call the girl and she can refuse for herself. But guess what? Rivka did not refuse. At first, he agrees to the man to take the girl, but later on he changes his mind. That was a problem. What does that mean to you and me today? Do not allow anything between you and the business that God has called us to do, or the core business at hand. Or do not allow yourself to have anything between you and what God is doing. Laban's heart was perverted towards the things of this world. No wonder he changed his mind only when he saw the gold, the silver. That's when he decided to change his mind. That blinded him. And to see the importance of Rivka joining the house of Abraham. At first, it was okay. But later on, after seeing silver and gold, he said, no, you can't go so fast. I have to milk you a little bit more. I have to benefit from you a little more. Secondly, another thing we see here is you should not allow anything to delay you joining the house of Abraham. In other words, if the opportunity to get saved has presented itself, do not delay. Do not delay like what Rivka did. Immediately say, I will. Rivka said the right thing. I will go. When Rivka was asked, she didn't care about the feelings of her own brother or inquire from Mommy, the opinion of Mommy or her other people. She chose the right thing, which was to join the house of Abraham against the opinion of her mother and the brother. Mind you, they had just said no, she should stay 10 more days. With that said, my question to you today is, are you going to join the house of Abraham and stand for what is right, or stand for what God values or what God sees to be right? Or you are going to allow Laban and your mother, your relatives, your people, your surrounding to make you delay and stay for so many days? Mind you, if you stay 10 days, it's more likely these 10 days, according to Laban, this was the least, at least 10 days, meaning you might as well stay 100 days. And if you stay 100 days, who knows? You might as well never go at all. By the way, Isaac needed Rivka a lot because he had just lost his mother. According to Jewish tradition, according to our rabbis, we are told if a man has lost his mother or a son has lost his mother, he will find comfort in his wife. And that's exactly what Isaac needed. Just like now, the Jewish people are losing so many lives and we are persecuted from almost every angle. This is the moment where we need Rivka, who would leave everything and say, guess what? I'll go and join myself to Isaac. And not just join myself to Isaac, but I'll go and comfort Isaac now that he needs you the most. This is the moment Isaac needs you the most. As a Rivka, will you go like the remnant to go and comfort Isaac? Will you join the house of Abraham? Or allow Laban to delay you because of his love for material things? When Laban sees silver and gold, he's more likely to change his mind. Identify Laban today. his desires, everything about him. And when you have identified him, do not allow him to delay you from serving the God of Israel, from joining the house of Abraham, from comforting Isaac, who needs you now than before. It's time to join the house of Abraham. It's time to decide what you want. You better run, Rivka. You better run, Rivka.